Hi, I'm Erin Harrison, coming to you from Cloud Expo at the Javits Center in New York City, and I'm joined by Eric Shapcaro of Telx, CEO of Telx, and Joe Weidman, who is the Senior Vice President of Cloud Computing for Telx. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Our pleasure to join you. It's great to see you again.
So Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Telx does and what your role is in with cloud?
Sure. Telx is a leading provider of data center and interconnection services. By the end of this year, we'll have 1 million square feet under management. And our real differentiation is how networked our facilities are. Hundreds of networks in each location. And you ask, why is that important? Well, take, under consideration, we're at a cloud show, and folks that are using private and public clouds need to think about the importance of a network which they can leverage in a Telx data center. So a real focus, a real differentiator is, around us is those networks that are built into our facility and the ecosystems that leverage those networks, whether it be enterprise, financial services, or media and entertainment firms that need to connect to each other or to different networks inside the data center.
And what are you gentlemen hoping to accomplish while you're here at Cloud Expo this week?
Well, this is a large conference. There's lots of different partners and customers that are here, so I think it's great for us to be able to get at our value proposition to a broader audience, because for a long time in the cloud has been viewed as an over-the-top service where the network hasn't really mattered, but I think a lot of emerging scenarios really underscore the critical importance of both today's networks, carrier-neutral interconnection, and also where this technology is headed.
And Telx has certainly been around for a while. How have you seen cloud evolve in the last 12 or 18 months?
So that's a great question. So we're seeing today many of our enterprise customers come into our facilities and deploy a private cloud or an enterprise hybrid cloud environment in a Telx facility. And leveraging our interconnection portfolio, they can use both the public internet, or they can use all the private networks, or whatever private network they may use, an MPLS or VPLS network, to connect back to their own data centers or to their headquarter locations. So we are really seeing enterprises really stepping up and deploying these mostly hybrid cloud environments, and more from a production than research and development like we've seen the last couple of years. We still believe we're in the early innings, and it's a big opportunity. But we also think, if I think about our new facility we announced in Clifton, 200,000 square feet here in New Jersey, a perfect place to put your private cloud, but also have that connectivity back to the public clouds, and ultimately to do inter-cloud capability and connections between multiple public clouds and your private cloud. It's exciting.
It is exciting. And getting back to the value proposition of cloud just for a minute, any sort of obstacles that you guys are seeing in terms of adoption and how Telx helps solve those issues?
Well, I think it's not so much an obstacle, but if you look at where things are evolving, the original use of the cloud back starting a few years ago when the first services were introduced was more of a plaything. It was, hey, we'll try some of this, we'll store some data objects there, we'll maybe run some testing in the cloud, etc. But as it really starts to mature, we're really seeing an emerging, very complex ecosystem arise. And so it isn't just things like hybrid clouds, it's things like the intercloud, as Eric mentioned. So that in turn implies lots and lots of interconnection between all the individual participants. And those participants are a variety of cloud providers at the infrastructure, platform, and software layers. Sometimes they have relationships with each other at the infrastructure layer, sometimes at the software layer through things like mashups. And so what you're finding is more and more interconnection among enterprises, cloud providers, and network service providers, and that interconnection is getting more and more complex, and moreover, it needs to be more flexible. So things like our virtual interconnect capability really enable a high degree of flexibility within that interconnection infrastructure, where we're tying together over 1,000 service providers and enterprise customers, and they can kind of mix and match their services as required.
What's next for Telx, and what do you see ahead for cloud in the next year or so?
So we'll continue to expand our locations, our geographical footprint. We'll continue to expand our offers to our customers, both in the interconnection, the colo, and the space. We'll continue to bring in new partnerships like we have here today with Hexagrid and AppCore and others, so customers that want both cloud, but a roadmap, from colo to cloud, that we can provide that holistically from Telx. So we can be the one throat to choke as we work with an organization, whether it be their IT organization or their business organization. So like I said, we're excited. We think we're in the early innings, and we think we provide great flexibility, reliability, secure data center infrastructure, but also the benefit of having those network interconnects to run their businesses.
Eric and Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.